Halloween is by far my favorite holiday through the entire year. It beats Christmas, it beats Thanksgiving, it beats the other ones. I'm not sure what it is about it. The crisp fall air, being able to dress up however you want, we'll get to that in a second, and ask for candy from strangers, which is something you should never do, except on Halloween. And over the past couple years, you just see this slow and steady decline of interest and invigoration about Halloween, at least in the way I'm used to seeing it. And then this year, of course, it just, completely plummets because Halloween kind of puffed into a smoke of pumpkin spiced whatever, which is sad, but So this video is part filler content, let's be honest here, and part trying to recapture what makes Halloween so special, at least to me, by looking back at some of the costumes that I wore as a kid. Now I get it, who cares? What did you go as for Halloween when you were 7? No one cares, I get it, but I think it's interesting, and I think it warrants a video because of the costume selections that I made and how they were made. There were a lot of art and engineering went into it, mostly by my mother, in fact, 100% by my mother. I really just pointed at a picture and she built it. It was incredible. You'll see. You'll see. Back in 1999, I went as Elmo, which is, kind of boring, right? I mean, it's Elmo. Who cares? The fun stuff started in 2000. I went as a robot. I don't know where those pictures are. I can't find them. But the pictures that I do have start in 2001, and 2001 might be even stranger. I went as a cell phone. I mean, I guess it makes sense. My dad had a cell phone for work. This really dates me because it all says Nextel. You remember Nextel? I think Sprint bought them. In 2002, I was a forklift. I guess technically a forklift operator, but I had a forklift. Look, it's a forklift. I went as a forklift. I loved forklifts as a child, so I wanted to go as one for Halloween. And I think my mom killed this one, just, conceptually. I remember a lot of the kids were just, confused, what? There are 2 Spider-Mans in this picture, but only one forklift. Here's the principal is checking to make sure that I'm okay. Batman, Scooby-Doo, forklift. So 2004 started the very complex cardboard box costumes, and this was the first real challenge for my mother, and she killed it. At the time, I was big into Formula One, and Ferrari, Michael Schumacher, was my favorite driver team combo, so I asked to go as the Ferrari Formula One car. And it turned out really well. Look at this. Look at this thing. Oh, there's pictures of the construction too. She knew this was going to be big. Yeah, look at this. Look at that. Look at that. Painting it red. I remember she was really proud of the tires. Those were construction foam. Oh, but it gets worse. You think we're going to top out at a badness point at some level, and we will, but not yet, because in 2005, I went as a motherboard. Now I'm a software engineer. I love computers. That's kind of my thing. Look, come on. This isn't normal. A car, maybe. But come on. A motherboard. We went into some sick detail here. It's a shame that these photos are so low resolution, but these chips, look at these chips. Intel AGP set, I know what that means now, but back then I had no clue. Pulse, that's an Ethernet controller. Okay. Look at this. That's a floppy disk or IDE controller. She made that with nails. These capacitors, I think, are film canisters. Remember those? But I loved it. 2006, I was a stealth fighter. Look at those shark fins. She said those came to her in a dream. I'm running around the backyard like a stealth plane. I'm not normal. Every year, people were like, "Oh, what's Tucker going to come as this year? What cool cardboard box contraption is he going to come up with this year?" Oh, and there was a little window so I could see. It actually got really hot in that one, but it was so cool. It's beautiful. Look at that. 2007 was a bit out there. I'll admit, it was a bit out there. I didn't have any ideas, so I looked around the kitchen. And I found what I wanted to be. An oven. I mean, come on. I was an oven. Look at this. Look at that. I was on fire. I was being cooked. I was an oven. Also, I guess this year I had a mildly racist pumpkin. Are those carrots? Oh my god. So in 2018, my family got a boat at the Lake of the Ozarks. And I'm like, you know what? I'll go with that for Halloween. This one's one of my favorites because it was so detail-oriented. Let's take a look. Yes, there was a couch back there, and there was a teak table with a plate. Look at that. Look at that. An actual dessert. Look at the little sink. There was a little sink on the boat. There was a little sink. Again, I never claimed to be normal. All right, 2009. We need to talk about what happened with the oven. So as I was walking around with my mother trick-or-treating, some older kids yelled across the street, "What is he supposed to be, a frickin' refrigerator?" And my mom yelled back, "No, he's an oven." So in 2009, I thought, well, screw these guys. I'll go as a refrigerator. This refrigerator had everything. Empty containers, it had pictures of our actual refrigerator at the time. A light, there was a light that you just pressed and it turned on. That's how you wore it. You wore it like that with your hand resting on the butter. That was the official party line. Now, unfortunately, I think this is the last box costume I ever had. I finished with refrigerator, which I guess is kind of fitting because it was a big middle finger to those kids who thought I was a refrigerator 2 years ago, but I was an oven, damn it. I'm an oven, damn it. So I think the year after that, I couldn't wear a cardboard costume because I was going to a friend's house. I think this was in 8th grade at this point. So I just kind of dressed up as a serial killer. This is an Einstein wig and a cut-up mask, and I also had a sword. Oh god, I had braces too. In subsequent years, after going to a friend's house and trick-or-treating in their neighborhood for Halloween, I turned my creative attention to pumpkins. I always wanted a cool pumpkin, and I did in fact have a couple cool pumpkins. In 2012, I made this guy. I cut out the entire top of the head and put a pie dish in there, and then dumped out one of those cooking fuel things with the alcohol jelly so that his hair would be literal fire. And I think it turned out really cool, and he was worried, right? The pumpkin's worried because, oh god, my head's on fire, oh no! One of these years I had a disco pumpkin. Where's the disco pumpkin? Yeah, I had an actual disco pumpkin. I had a disco pumpkin. I just drilled a bunch of holes. I know I went to a party that year as Charlie Sheen because I had a bowling shirt, a fedora, and my mom rolled up a cigar out of felt. 2013, I stepped up the game a little bit by getting a larger pumpkin. I had to actually use a reciprocating saw to get through it. I made the mouth extra large so I could put a foot in there. Oh, I also made it a Cyclops, apparently. 2013, I had to make a costume for the theater banquet that year in high school. I was into Legend of Korra at the time, and everyone knows that the best villain from Legend of Korra, I haven't seen all of it, don't at me, is Amman. So I went full steam ahead on Amman here. Here's some making of pictures. I think the process was really fun because a lot of fittings, a lot of needles I was poked with on accident. We also tried doing the fire scar thing with some face paint, but it didn't really pan out very well. It looks really good. Look at that. Look at how the cape tapers a little bit. The attention to detail my mother put into these, amazing. Amazing. In 2014, I was No Face, and I can't find any pictures of No Face, and that's really depressing. Actually, you know something? Oh my god, it's in this drawer. Who needs pictures when you have the real thing? It's exactly as simple as it looks. It's this, and then I also had some black gloves. I can't believe I have No Face with me. That's great. In 2017, I went to a party. I don't think there are any pictures of it, but I wore a blue shirt, and I took a audio cable, and I tied a stuffed chicken to me, so I was chicken cordon bleu. And that brings us to 2018, in which I was Slutty Ted Cruz. Now, hang on. You might be wondering, why would you go with Slutty Ted Cruz? So I had to shave my face for a play I was in called Our Town. I was Joe, what's his face? I don't remember. I was the dead child. And childs don't have this mess. So I had to shave, which was horrible. Absolutely horrible. Amazing Grace. And when I'm shaved, I look like Ted Cruz. So I thought, you know what? Slutty Ted Cruz. There aren't many pictures of Slutty Ted Cruz, which is horribly unfortunate. I got a ratty looking suit from Goodwill. I took a dress shirt and I tied it up in the knot, and I also put the Zodiac Killer symbols across the nipples. And then I also had a had a cut off, like, jacket, but it was like an actual jacket. I took the shorts, super short, so that the pockets were sticking out the bottom. And I wore a tie, but also like really messy. I still have the costume, but it won't look right. Even though Ted Cruz has facial hair now, it doesn't look like this, so I couldn't pull it off now. I'm editing this right now, and I forgot to mention that there were some Slutty Ted Cruz pickup lines that I wrote. Some of these are pretty good. Well, let's see. I believe that one man, one woman is the building block of society, so I figured we could build a whole house. Iran is not the only one who has nuclear missiles, if you know what I mean. Hey girl, are you a tax cut for the wealthy 1%? Because I won't oppose you. I support the Second Amendment, and I'm packing heat. I'd love to force Apple to unlock your iPhone, to put my number in there. The Koch brothers bet me $1 million I wouldn't strike up a conversation with the most beautiful girl here. Want to buy some votes with their money? Anyway, those are just some of the best ones. Back to the thing. Do I miss Halloween? Yes, I do miss Halloween quite a bit. It's a chance to be creative, even if you're otherwise not very creative. And I don't want to sound like, I'm an old kid shaking my fist at the children of today, but I do hope that someday we can get back to what Halloween was, essentially. So yeah, that's it. It's 3:30 on Halloween right now, so I gotta edit this pretty lickety-split if I want it to come out on Halloween. If it's November 1st now, whoopsie. Guess I'm not that fast of an editor. Okay, bye.